Hello Nils, this is Joe Barnes here, and I am just recording this video in response to your question about changing the generator form so that your video sits in the middle and that you can have extra text. Now please let me start by telling you that I am not a coder, okay? I had this page built by a coder, but I am not a coder. So the way I'm going to show you may not necessarily be the way a coder would go about it, because I'm cheating slightly, okay? And it's nothing to do with changing the code. So there's probably a better way of doing it from a coder's point of view, but you know, at the end of the day, I'm all about just getting the result I want. I'm not really too worried about how I get there. So hopefully you're going to feel the same way and just follow my cheat way. So basically, here's the code. Okay, and you might actually want to change it in here before you paste it over to your fan page, but let me just copy and paste it over to the fan page and show you what I've done. Okay, so I'm basically copying this code, and and I'm just using the code that I already had in there. Okay, and then we're going to go over to my page. Now, as you can see, I've been playing with it. So here I've got my step one and my header, and then I've managed to put in an extra line there, which of course you can put in whatever you want to say, and an extra line in the subtext. So, you know, you can add as many extra lines as you want. Plus, I've got my video right in the middle of the screen without my autoresponder. Yeah, and I think that's exactly what it is that you wanted to achieve. So let me show you how I've done that. If I go into Edit Page and go into my applications, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete what I've got in there and put in the code that I've just copied, okay, and save those changes. And so if we go back into the page, you'll see that it's back as it was on the screen, yeah, with the video there in the autoresponder. Okay, so let's go back into the page and I will show you what I've done. Into the application. Okay, let's make my page as big as it possibly can go so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is get rid of the autoresponder. You haven't got your fan page doesn't need an autoresponder, so we want to get rid of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into here and we're going to go down until we get to the Aweber form here, okay? And I'm basically going to pick up the Aweber form generator, and I'm going to keep going down until I get to the bottom of the Aweber form generator, which is there. Okay, and then I'm going to literally just delete all of that. That's now all gone. Okay, now here's where I had problems. I really did try everything. I went into here. You can see that this is the table. This is what I'm doing, and I'm floating left. So I want to say it's floating center. Yeah, but all I can think of, it doesn't matter what I do, I can't make it center. So all I can think of is there's some kind of CSS behind my page that my developer built that is sitting in a file somewhere, and I don't know anything about CSS. So here's what I did. This is what I did to cheat. I took my video and I make it 520 pixels wide, and I make the image 520 pixels wide, and you might want to make it about 300 big so it doesn't look really odd, 300 high. Okay, and that's the YouTube thingy, and then the actual image, so it fits with it, 520 wide, and say 300 tall so it doesn't look silly. So now, because it's 520 wide, it's going to span the width of the page, yeah, which is going to actually make it 520, which is actually going to make it center. Okay, and then up here, what I'm going to do is where you see where the text is. So basically, from here, div style equals text align, center, width, font, welcome to on page, yeah, and then to the end of the backslash div, yeah, or forward slash div rather. All I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that, yeah, and then after that I'm going to give myself a little break. Let's give ourselves a break, BR, and then I'm going to paste it in, and that's going to give me another the same as that. And let's just change that there to hello, second text line, yeah. And then what I'm going to do is go down here to the div, okay, and go down here and copy that. And then after the break, I'm also going to copy that. And so then I'm going to put second subtext line. Okay, and then I'm going to save my changes. I'm going to go back to my page and let's just make that a bit smaller again. See what happens when we click. And there's welcome to Optim page. Hello, second text line. There's the subtext line, second subtext line, and there's the video in the middle. Okay, so that is basically how I do it. I do hope that that helps you out. And I wanted to get a response through to you. I will be going and having a look at the CSS file and speaking to the developer and seeing how to do it properly. But for now, that is certainly a way around it where you can get rid of your autoresponder, get your video right in the middle, and get more text and everything in there. I hope that helps, and I'll speak to you very soon. Take care, bye-bye.